All right, friends, we just finished episode number 3 of The Acolyte, and what an episode. This episode blew my mind in a way. It really, really drew me in. We're going to get into it, but before we do, friendly spoiler warning. I am going to be talking about spoilers. Oh boy, am I going to be talking about spoilers. The implications of this episode. I love how we're getting into the fact that the Jedi are basically a cult that takes kids. That's a thing. I didn't think we were going to get into the whole how they get the younglings thing in The Acolyte, but I'm glad that we are talking about it because it is a weird part of the Jedi culture that feels super culty, and this episode just made me be like, man, the Jedi are a cult. Run away. The Jedi are a cult. Also, look, I'm still wearing my headphones. I was watching it on my computer, so that's why I'm wearing my headphones. I'm listening to literally nothing. I don't know why I'm wearing these. So that was one of the things that I really loved in this episode. I will say I think that the script is weaker for this show, and I think that's maybe why I'm finding it hard to focus as much sometimes. Like, mainly with episode 1, I feel like the dialogue a lot of the times is what's leaving a lot to be desired. The story is interesting. I think the story is actually really cool. The dialogue, though, it's too bad about that dialogue, though. Thank goodness that we have actors who are really, really acting in this. We have good actors, and I think that that is very helpful because I do think our actors here are elevating the script and that their intention is what is making it more interesting for me to watch. That in the story. Like I said, I think the overall story is pretty cool here. So in this episode, we go to the Flashbacta. Get Boba, put him in the Flashbacta, because we're getting a flashback. So this episode is all flashback, and it's basically exploring the events of what happened with Mae and Osha's coven that they were a part of. I'm pretty sure these are Nightsisters. So I was like, oh, yeah, I can see why this may have been a problem with the Jedi. Nightsisters, notoriously the bad guys in a lot of Jedi tales, if that's what we're getting here. I think that's what's happening. And so it would make sense that the Nightsisters are being targeted here if that is what's happening. I wouldn't be surprised, though, considering they said, you know, we were exiled, we got hunted everywhere. They basically have had to, like, just run away, and then they're not even allowed to have kids. So that's pretty bad. Pretty bad as well when you look at it from the side of the Nightsisters and you are just looking at them as a group of people as opposed to a bunch of evil witches, and then you're kind of like, wait, maybe we got some of this wrong here. Maybe the Nightsisters aren't as bad as we think. No, I mean, the Nightsisters are pretty bad, but, you know, we're seeing a human side here, and I like that this is trying to examine things under different lenses. I really think that's cool because, you know, it's not necessarily like the Jedi are being bad guys here, but they're just doing what Jedi do. However, because we're seeing the other side of this coven that these two girls are like their hope for their future, and then the Jedi come and want to take them away, I get what's going on, and I just think, oh, that's interesting. Also, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of stuff of just, like, the cult, like, curtain is slipping or something. Like, so we can see behind and we can see into the cult that is the Jedi. And a big part of that for me was just hearing Soul take Osha aside and say, if you want to come with us, like, basically you can come with us. I went with the Jedi when I was younger than you. I was 4. I'm sorry, you were 4? I don't think when you're 4 you can make that kind of decision. What was that like? I want to hear more about that. It's like, don't worry, this is normal. Here's what I've experienced. By the way, doesn't sound actually super normal, but that's what it was. But, you know, at the end of the day, Osha does want to go with them. She is making the choice. So the Jedi aren't really doing anything wrong here, except maybe they killed everyone? Because at the end, the whole idea is that Osha wants to go and Mae wants to stay. And Mae's willing to do whatever it takes. She's like, I'll lie on this test, I'll do whatever. I just want to be a witch. But Osha's like, I don't think I want to be a witch. I'm not sure. I'm kind of trying to find myself a little bit here. So I'm going to be honest. And through that, she's going to go be a Jedi. And her mom actually seems cool with it. Well, one of her moms seems cool with it. I also got to say, I love how gay this is. This story felt so gay. And I was like, Pride Month shining through. I actually really liked the fact that the girls have two mothers, and I am also curious as to what this process is like. I don't know a ton about the Nightsisters, so this might be something that's been delved into in prior stuff, or this might be new. But if you do know something, or just in general, if there's Nightsister stuff that you recommend I check out or read or, you know, watch or whatever, let me know in the comments. I think there is some book stuff that has the Nightsisters in it, but I'm not sure. Not sure. So anyways, her mom is like, you know what? If you want to go, you want to go. And I love you, so we can figure it out. We'll figure it out. Everyone has to agree on it, but I will definitely say to everyone, like, I think maybe we should let her go because she wants to go. So it seems like there could be just us work this out, but then Mae is like, goes completely psychotic, and she basically says, no, you can't leave because I'm going to kill you, and then starts a fire. And then everything goes crazy. And then Osha escapes through this little hatch. I don't know. They have like a secret tunnel in that room, I guess. So she escapes through that. And then as she's getting out, there's a massive explosion. And both of them seem to be saying, what did you do to the other one? Mae seemingly falls to her doom, which we all know how that goes sometimes in Star Wars, don't we? So obviously she doesn't. She comes back later. But we think at the time that she's gone. And then as Osha is being taken out after she's saved by Soul, we just see bodies everywhere, all these women. The trauma. And at one point, Osha wants to go for her mom. She's right there. And Soul literally drags her away. And then after, when she wakes up, he's like, yeah, it's because of the fire that Mae started. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It can't be that. It's got to have been that the Jedi attacked or something else happened that we don't know, I think, what happened there. I don't think it was the fire. That little fire, what? When Mae did that, she just, because she's so powerful, there's just fires everywhere. I don't know if I believe that. I think that sounds super suspicious. I think the Jedi are super suspicious. I don't know what's going on, but all I'm saying is that the Jedi are a cult. They got Jedi mind tricks, so they can just brainwash you. I'm very much on the side of the Coven right now. I'm like, do not trust these Jedi. They want to take our younglings from us. That's kind of where we're at with this episode. I mean, it kind of ends on that note, and Osha's going with the Jedi, and Mae is realizing that she survived. She seems to be all alone. We still don't know who her master is. We don't know how all those people... I don't think Mae's fire did it. That's all I'm going to say. It's all very interesting. And it's all very suspicious. I have some questions. I also think it's interesting, though, that if these are the Nightsisters, that they're like the Jedi using Jedi mind tricks. Pfft. And then literally are just like, we're going to possess this dude that's with you. Like, don't you use Jedi mind tricks? So overall, I am quite enjoying this. I will say, I feel like our cast is also so good. I felt emotions. I was intrigued. I was completely absorbed in. I will say the first, like, 10 minutes or so were kind of, like, meh for me. But then once they hooked me, man, was I hooked. So I'm very curious to see where we go next with this and what the next episode will be about. Do we have a title? Do we have a title or anything? Destiny? Just Destiny? The other ones had, like, Lost Found, you know, this, that. I thought it was going to be, like, two things. I guess not. Okay, so it's just Destiny. So this one is called Destiny. We don't know what the next one's going to be called, but it's got a different director. So this one had a different director than the first two and different writers. They have a big writing team. I was also looking to see, like, who can I talk about in regards to this dialogue, and is there something in their resume that explains kind of what we're doing here? I think what they're trying to do with the writing is they're trying to go for something that sounds iconic, like epic, like Star Wars, how there's so many lines that are so quotable. But because they're like trying to do it, it's not really working. And because they're trying to like create, like mimic almost that tone, it doesn't strike as being as true or as sincere as just finding those moments. But I don't know, that's also kind of a hard thing. I don't know, Star Wars, the original trilogy, is kind of a little bit like lightning in a bottle. Like, we have succeeded to recreate some of the vibes, but I don't think we've ever fully recreated that vibe entirely. So maybe there's just too many writers. I don't know. Probably not. 10 doesn't seem too many, especially if people have pairings that they like to write in. So that's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I hope that you didn't think, like apparently some of the people on the internet, that it was one of the worst episodes of Star Wars anything ever. I didn't think that. I think my overall rating I would give it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. I would say a solid 8 out of 10. All right, friends, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time, and I guess we'll see more of the Force cult, which I think probably is something to do with the Nightsisters, but I could be wrong there. I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. Until next time, friends, stay nerdy.